Righties. Okay, come and have a seat. Cross your legs, just get nice and comfortable, close the eyes. Give your shoulders a little bit of a wriggle around, and maybe have a bit of a move around in the seat so you are comfortable and you can sit there without feeling like you're having to hold the hips or hold any tension. And then just close the eyes, take a big breath in, a big sigh out. 2 more like that, big breath all the way in, all the way out. Really let the chest drop, let the shoulders soften. Big inhale. And big exhale. And then if you can now, breathe in and out through the nose. So just gently close the mouth. You don't have to grip the lips together, but just let the mouth softly close and breathe in and out through the nose. And just slow down the breath, calm the nervous system. Let your physical body arrive, let your mind calm down, let it settle if it's been racing, if you have lots going on. And happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for joining me today. I know it's just one Sunday like every other Sunday, or one day like every other day, but still thank you for being here. And just start to notice the effects of the breath on the body. So notice how the shoulders rise a little when you breathe in, and they soften as you breathe out. They rise a little as you breathe in. And something gives, something releases as you breathe out. 3 more there. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. And out. 1 more in. And out. And then just take the hands back behind you, rock back onto your seat so you can release the feet. Plant both feet a little bit wider than the distance of your hips. So a good width, about the distance of your mat. And we're just going to rock both knees all the way over to the left. Feel that stretch through the top of the right hip. And then bring them back to center. Take the knees over to the right. So you're just moving through the hips. And depending how tight the hips are, will depend on how that feels. I don't know how anyone's feeling after stretch yesterday, but the girl I went for a walk with in the afternoon, she did class yesterday. And we were both saying like, gosh, our arms are so sore from carrying these rucksacks that had like a drink in and a sandwich. And then we were like, oh no, it's a stretch. So I hope everyone's arms are feeling okay. We're going to do more hips and lower body today. Okay, and then next time your knees come over to the right, stay there and lift your arms up nice and tall. And then lean forwards over the right shin. So lean the body forwards. So there's a bit of a stretch around the outside of the hip and into the lower back. Breathe in and out. Inhale, come back to center, reach the arms up to the sky. If you can, without putting the hands down, come through center and take both knees over to the left. If you need to use the hands, that's fine. And then reach the arms all the way down over to the left side. So you stretch over that left shin, relax the upper body. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Inhale, come back through center. So either reach the arms up or just use the hands for support. Rock all the way over to the right, knees are down. Reach the arms up and then fold forward. So we're going to once more each side like this. So stretch forwards over that right shin. And then inhale, you're lifting all the way up with or without the hands, coming back through center. taking the knees over to the left and folding the body all the way over to that left side. Breathe. Relax through the upper body. And then come back up through center. Use the hands if you need support. Take the knees over to the right. Going to change it a little this time. So your left knee comes down to the inside of the right foot. Use your hands if you need to, or reach the hands up to the sky. Push into the shins and lift your hips up. Drive the hips forward. So really squeeze the glutes and then rest the hips down. Move through center. It might feel a bit clunky. That's okay. It feels a bit awkward. It's a good challenge for the hips, and push up. And if it's too much to push up, just do as we have been doing for the last few rounds. Go once more each side, with or without the hands. That's your option. That's your chance to make it more stable or harder. And your last one will be over to the left. And then you're going to let the hips settle down. Come back through center. Cross the legs, take the hands forwards to the top of your mat and step back to all fours. So your hands and knees on the floor. Take an inhale, open the chest forwards. Take an exhale, arch and round through the spine. Inhale forwards. Exhale round through the spine. And it doesn't have to be as uniform and as strict as that. So if you want to kind of add a bit of a side bend or a wriggle, you can do so. It doesn't have to be that perfect forwards and backwards shape. Maybe you add a bit of a swing from side to side. Just do whatever you need to do to get into any areas of tightness, stiffness. Really stretch out and move all the way through the spine. Little bit more freedom to the movement. 3 more breaths in and out. In and out. Last one, inhale. Exhale, round, pull the waist in, tuck the toes, lift the hips up to the sky, stretch the heels back, downward facing dog. So nice long length through the back of the legs, trying to stretch those heels down to the floor. Relaxing the weight of the head, so the head is heavy. Having the knees as bent as you need to, so there's no excessive strain through the back of the legs, and you're able to hold yourself here. Pedal on the spot, so give the backs of the legs a good stretch. And then slowly walk the feet in towards the hands. Stay nice and bent through the knees so you can comfortably have the fingertips down on the floor, even if that means really quite a bend through the knees. Keep the right hand there. Inhale, reach the left arm up to the sky. And then exhale, bring the left hand down. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Go once more each side, left arm. And bring it down. Right arm. And bring it down. Relax forwards. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Reach the crown of the head forward, so straighten through the back. Exhale, try and fold even deeper, even closer to the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold even closer towards the shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. And then place the hands down to the floor. Step the feet back into a plank position and hold that plank position. Nice and strong. Make your way down to the floor. So all the way down, however you like. Resting on the floor. Squeeze the legs together. Point the toes. So really connect between the inner thighs. Take the hands off the floor. So using the strength of the back to lift the chest. Open and look forwards. Exhale, lower. Gaze can stay just to the top of your yoga mat. Don't need to look up. Don't need to strain the neck. Exhale, lower down. 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. On this one, we'll hold, lift, squeeze the inner thighs together, really feel that connection. Reach the arms out in a big Y shape. So stretch the arms up and out. Feel the challenge in the back of the shoulders. Hold for 3. Don't hold the breath. 2. 1. Hands to the floor, toes tuck. Take it all the way back into downward facing dog. Stretching the hips up to the sky. Breathing in and breathing out. Rest both knees to the floor. Keep the spine in a neutral position, so comfortable through the spine, no pressure in the lower back. Stretch the right leg back behind you. And then stretch the left arm out in front of you. Breathe in. Breathe out, round through the spine. Bring the elbow and knee both underneath the body. Inhale, reach forwards and kick back. Exhale, bring both underneath and really round. Pull in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, round. All your strength to lift that right knee into the chest. Inhale, reach back. As you pull it in, I really want you to feel the abdominals working to lift that right knee in. Stretch back and hold. So steady yourself here. Find your balance. Keep the right leg there. Bring the left hand down. Imagine you have a paintbrush between the right toes, and you're just going to draw big circles with that right leg without letting the movement come into the lower back. So my tree is in the way. So draw circles with that right leg. They can be quite nice and big. Feel the back of the right hip working to stabilize and hold you there for 3, 2, 1. At the top of that movement, start to go the other way. So big circles. Remember these circles because we're going to try them again in a moment when we're in a downward dog. Lengthen through those toes. Reach the foot to the back of the room. 3, 2, 1. Keep the leg lifted. Tuck the left toes. Downward facing dog, and then reach that right leg up to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. And again, circle that right leg. It's a bit harder now because you're taking more of the weight in the upper body, but still finding circles with that right leg. Working on the mobility through that right hip and the strength around the right hip. Change the direction. Next time you draw a circle, stop at the top. Bring the right knee into the chest. If you need to use the right hand to carry it forwards, do so. Then place the left knee down to the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Move into the left thigh. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Inhale. Exhale. Now go as far forwards as you can, so you come all the way into your mobility. So here we're passive, and then you're going to just pull yourself back 1 inch and hold yourself there. So there's more strength to hold yourself there. Take the left hand to the outside of the right knee and reach your right arm to the back of the room. Squeeze your left glutes on, so support that left hip. Reach your right arm to the very back of the room. If you feel like you're warm enough and you can take a little back bend, you're going to reach that right hand towards the back of the left calf, but it's quite deep. So only go there if you feel warm. Reach the left arm up to the sky. It's just an option. You don't have to take it. Breathe in and out. 1 more breath. And slowly return back into that twist. Both arms up to the sky. Both hands down inside of your right foot. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee off the floor. So a strong, long line through that left thigh. Relax the head, just looking down at the floor. So not creasing the neck to look in front of you. Breathe here. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath. And then rest the back knee down to the floor. Take the right knee back, place it next to the left knee. So both hands and knees again. Neutral spine. Extend the left leg back. So you find a long line through the left leg, and then you reach the right arm forwards. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Breathe in, reach. Breathe out, round, and pull elbow and knee together underneath the body. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull in, knee into the chest as high as you can bring it in. 3 more in. And breath out. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, really pull in and hold. Then place the right hand down. Stretch the left leg back. Start to draw circles. So just letting that movement come from the hip. It's a little bit Pilates more than yoga, but nice way to wake up the back of the left hip. Go in this direction for 3 more, 2 more, 1 more, and then we rotate the other way. And in a minute, we're going to go into that 3-leg downward facing dog position. So if it's easier, you can rest both knees first, or if you want to, you can keep that back leg lifted. We'll stop there, tuck the right toes and lift up, but we'll all come into downward dog with that left leg reaching high. And then we start to circle once more. Trust the pressure through the hands. So push evenly through the heels of the hands, the knuckles, the fingertips, and then go the other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that left knee in, step the left foot forwards, rest the back knee down, and inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Breathe in. And then breathe out, you start to move forwards into that right hip against the resistance. So against that stretch through the right thigh. Hopefully feeling a stretch through the back of the left hip as well. And then we're going to go all the way into that stretch. So let your body go as far forwards as it can. You find your depth. And then you pull yourself back from there just an inch by using the strength of the waist. Take your right hand to the outside of the left thigh and reach your left arm back. So this is option 1. I'm fine to stay here. Option 2, you'd be taking that left hand down to the back of the right leg and reaching the right arm up to the sky, but it's deep, strong through the back. So just go there if you feel like you're warm. And then we're going to let the hands come all the way down to the top of your yoga mat inside of your left foot. Tuck the right toes off the floor, lift the right knee, lengthen through that right leg. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in and out. Rest the right knee to the floor. Take the left knee back next to the right knee. Tuck the tailbone under, pull the waist in, lower halfway down into a push-up position. Keep the chest open, look to the top of your yoga mat, and then push all the way back up. So we're only going halfway, twice more. Halfway down and halfway back up. Down and back up from there, toes tuck, lift back into downward facing dog. Hips to the sky. Stretch the back of the legs. Give the head a shake, a nod, wriggle around from side to side. Breathing in and breathing out. Now reach the right leg up to the sky, depending on how much space you have around you. So keep the foot there for a moment. Option one, you'll just step that right foot all the way to the outside of the right hand, one big step, or you'll use your hand to help you. Option two is going to be hard for me to demonstrate, but you're going to kick that right leg out to the side, keeping it straight, and lift it all the way round to the top of your mat. So it's just a bit of a challenge in the way you move. Wherever you are, the right foot will come wide to the outside of the right hand. And then you'll rest the back knee down to the floor. So that's now quite a big open stretch through the hip, through the front of the body. Take your left hand off the left side of your yoga mat and reach the right arm up to the sky. So you get a big open twist, big stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Now squeeze that left glute on. So you're not just dropping into the front of the left hip. I want that to feel stable through the left hip. Your second option, which is deep through the left thigh, but if you're far enough forward, so if you can see, I know it's hard to tell where my knee is, but I'm almost on my thigh here. I'm not just on the knee. So if you want to, you can bend that back knee and pull the left foot in towards you. But I'm now totally on my left thigh, not my left knee. So your first aim is to bring that left hip closer to the floor. If you're just enjoying the big open stretch, that's absolutely fantastic. Don't worry about pulling into this. If you are here and you're bringing that left foot in, I want you to lift the right shoulder up and back. So I want you to find more lift and more space across the chest. If you had that left foot, slowly, carefully release it. Take the left toes to the back of your mat. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee off the floor. So two options again here. You're stepping that right foot back for a side plank. So you'll step the right foot back and then reach the right arm up to the sky. Your second option, your first two fingers hook around the right toe and you lift that right leg back up towards the sky. So option one, you come into a regular side plank. And if you need to rest that bottom knee, that's absolutely great as well. You're challenging the left side of the waist wherever you are. You're challenging the strength through that left arm. 3, 2, 1. Everyone right hand down. Both knees down. Take the knees wide. Toes point back together. 3 big breaths deep into a child's pose. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Breathe in. And breathe out. Bring it forwards back to all fours. Tuck the toes. Take it back into downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Come forwards to a plank position again. So first option is to drop the knees like you did before. Second option is to stay in a plank. 3 times. We're going halfway to a push-up and coming back. So knees down or knees up. 2 more. And you might do 1 with knees up and then 2 with knees down. It's up to you. Back into downward facing dog. So we keep the upper body challenge, which I said we weren't going to do, but surprise. Seat your left leg high. So first option, Big step, left foot to the outside of left hand. Second option, you're almost drawing a huge circle with that left foot and bringing it all the way round as much as you can. Rest the back knee to the floor. Reach the left arm up to the sky. So this big, wide open, it's quite a drop through the hips. So I just want you to make sure you're squeezing that right glute. So squeeze that glute on to support the right side of the pelvis. And then depending how comfortable you are on that back knee, your back knee might bend and you might reach round for the right toes. It also depends what surface you're on. I have quite a thick yoga mat, so it's not so bad on my knee, but if you're on a thin mat and hard floor, it doesn't feel that great. So just listen to your body, and if you can go there, that's cool, but if not, it doesn't matter. Still loads of opening through the hip and through the chest. Pull that left shoulder back. And then slowly let it go. Bring the left hand down. So you're stepping into a side plank, however you did on the other side. So maybe you simply step that left leg back. You take your time and you reach the left arm up to the sky. If you're hooking the fingers around the left big toe, you go for it. You try and lift that left leg back. Strength is down that right arm through the right side of the body. And then your left hand comes down into downward facing dog. And we're going to stay steady there with some long, deep breaths. Maybe feeling now like you can stretch the heels a bit further back, lift the hips a little higher, ground through the hands more. And then slowly walk the feet in all the way to the backs of the hands, forward fold. Relax through the upper body. Just let it go, completely surrender. Let gravity take over, let gravity pull the shoulders forwards, encouraging the spine to lengthen. And then you're going to root down strong through the feet, pull the waist in, start to curl up through the spine. Start to take your time rolling up, make it slow and controlled. And then stand tall. Relax the arms down by the side. Give the arms a shake out, give the legs a little shake around. And then you're going to push down into the left foot. So your first option, bring the right knee into the chest. Take the right hand to the right knee, left hand to the left hip. Try and keep that right hip level. So notice if that right hip reaches up. And your first option is simply to take that right knee out to the side. And as you take it out to the side, try not to stick your butt too far back. So try not to just drop back. I want the rotation and the opening to totally come from the front of the hip there. And you're just going to hold it there, balance there, maybe reach the left arm out to the side. If you want more, you can come back in, reach your right toe, your right fingers down to the right big toe, and kick that right leg away. It might be straight, it might still be a little bent, either is fine. And then you're going to open out in exactly the same way. Ooh, she says, falling over. So again, try not to stick that right hip back too much. It will try and lift a little more. And we're all going to really slowly bring that back in. Let the right foot come down to the ground. Take a big inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands into prayer heart center. Right knee lifts into the chest again. So still balancing on that left leg. And then kick the right leg back, lean the body forwards. So reaching that right leg back. Looking down to the ground. So look, probably towards the top of your yoga mat. And then bend the right knee and just tap it into the back of the left knee. Straighten that right leg out. Bend the right knee, tap the back of the left knee, and straighten it back out. Got 4 more. So bring it in, extend out, bring it in, extend out. 3, 2, a lot of strength work through the left leg. 1. Step the right foot next to the left foot. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Maybe take a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, hands to prayer, heart center. Shift the weight down into the right foot. Bring the left knee in. So your first option, left hand to the left knee, right hand to the right hip. It's going to help if you're looking at something that isn't moving. So I wouldn't be looking at the screen. I'd fix your gaze on something that isn't moving. Reach the right arm out. Just notice if you're reaching that left knee further out because you're just sticking the left hip back, or whether it's truly coming there from the front of the hip. If you want more, you're hooking around the toe, kicking the toe away, and opening that left leg out. This can be done with a bent knee as well, so you just take it wherever you need to. And then we'll really slowly bring it back in. Let that foot come down to the floor for a moment. Sweep the arms up to the sky, big breath. Hands to prayer, heart center. Bring the same knee, so bring that left knee back into the chest. Lean the body forwards, so looking down to the ground. Now you don't have to be all the way down. You can keep the chest up a little, that helps you stabilize, as long as there's a nice long line through the back. And from there, left knee taps the back of the right knee, and then you reach it back out. And for the first few, it feels okay. And then you start to realize where it's working. Go for 4. Kick that heel away. 3. So as you kick away, you also feel it into the left glutes. 2. And 1. Bring that left foot next to the right foot. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, lift up, open the chest. And then this time, exhale, you can fold all the way forwards. Hands come down to the floor, body relaxes. Widen the space between the feet. Hold opposite elbows and sway the body side to side. Relax the head. Big deep breaths. We do plenty of work in our Pilates classes to strengthen the back of the hips, but the glutes, it's a good practice. In yoga, you do a lot of, like, take this position we're in now. You do a lot of overstretching of the hamstrings and the glutes if you're not careful, and not enough strength work. So, I mean, most of you come to Pilates, so you'll soon balance that out, but it's an important thing to be aware of, or make sure you're doing. So whenever I give you the chance to really squeeze and engage your glutes in the practice, try and take full advantage of it. Hands down to the floor. Walk it out into a plank. Hold that plank position strong. And then keep on the tips of the toes. Slowly let the hips lower down. Let the chest and the gaze come forward. So into an upward facing dog without bending through the elbows. Now pull the navel to spine to lift back into downward facing dog. Big step, right foot between the hands towards the top of your mat and reach up, high lunge. Slowly bend that back knee. We're not lowering it all the way to the floor. We're just holding it there so we can build a bit more strength. I want you to imagine running all the way down the center of your yoga mat. There's a magnetic line, and you're going to pull the inner thighs towards that line. So feel the lower body get stronger and almost hug inwards. Breathe in. Breathe out. For those that feel strong and stable there, you can reach the arms up to the sky and take a slight back bend. If you don't, just stay where you are in that high lunge position, strengthening through the lower body. Slowly bring it back. Rest the back knee to the floor. Take both hands down to the ground. And then straighten your right leg. So maybe you have to shimmy it forwards a little to pull the toes back. So you get a stretch through the back of the right leg. Now make sure if there was a midline, you're not too close to it. I want you to be a little bit wider with the front ankle and the back knee so you feel more stable. If you don't feel very stable, stay here. If you do feel stable, come up through the upper body. So I'm really trying to push that right heel down. Reach the arms up to the sky. And now hinge forwards, keeping a straight back. So you're more active in that stretch. So hands down if that feels too much. If this is okay, that right thigh is really working. Breathe for 3. Breathe 2. Breathe 1. Take the hands down to the floor. Step the right knee back next to the left knee. Tuck the toes. Plank position. Lower the hips, look forwards, open through the hip flexors, squeeze the glutes, look forwards, gaze forwards. Take it back, downward facing dog. Pull the waist in. Right foot steps forwards. Rise up, high lunge. So comfortable in your high lunge. And then we're going to soften the back knee. I'm going to stay here. Imagine that magnetic line. Pull the inner thighs. So almost like the inner thighs are trying to, if they were knees were together, they'd touch one another, but obviously they're not. So you're just pulling the inner thighs to engage. Hope that makes sense. If you feel stable, reach the body back. You don't have to go there, just an option. Bring it back. Rest the back knee down. Everyone rest their hands to the floor. And start to straighten that front leg. So it depends on how your hamstrings are feeling, where you need to wriggle that foot to. But don't be afraid to move to where you feel the stretch. You don't have to be in one set position. We all have very different bodies. So some people will come down and automatically be in the right place. And for others, that will feel totally awkward. Then you're going to come up. That front leg is strong. So if you're doing this, start by pulling that left hamstring, not your left hamstring, your left quadricep, front of the thigh up, reach the arms to the sky, and then tilt the body forwards with a straight back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And out. One more breath. Exhale, hands all the way down. And everyone just take that left knee back next to the right knee. Tuck the toes, stretch back into downward facing dog. Sway the hips from side to side. Give the hips a little bit of a rock from left to right. And then come forwards to both knees. Just the right knee stays there. Left foot stretches to the back of your yoga mat. Reach the left arm up to the sky. And then sweep that left arm overhead. So you get one long side stretch through that left side of the body. Now, if you want a little bit more, so stay here if that's plenty of a stretch. If you want a little bit more, lift the left knee off, lift the left toes off the floor, bend the left knee, and let the toes tap the floor behind you so you can turn it into more of a back bend so you can look up to the sky more, but only if you feel comfortable down through that right arm, because it's a lot through that right shoulder. And then slowly come back, find all fours. So everyone back to an all fours position. Tuck the toes and lift the knees just 1 inch off the ground. We just did a lot of opening through the front of the body. So strengthen through the front of the body now, just to counterbalance that. Pull the navel in and then rest both knees. Stretch the right leg to the back of your yoga mat. Reach the right arm up to the sky and let that right arm stretch all the way overhead. So first off is a big stretch through the side of the body. May well be where you stay. If you want more, you're going to lift the right foot off the floor, bend the right knee, step the toes behind you, and allow your body to look up towards the sky. You're basically just lifting the chest a bit higher. And then slowly bring it back. Everyone to that all fours position. Walk the knees in all the way to the top of the yoga mat. Cross the feet and come back, have a seat. Stretch the legs out in front of you. So legs are straight. Straight-ish. If your hamstrings are really tight, you can have a little bend in the knees. That might help. And then I want you to wriggle on the seat bones. So you really get the seat bone on the floor, not all the padding that is around that. So you really want to be sat seat bones down into the ground. Reach the arms up, lift the arms up as tall as you can. And then think about folding forwards from the belly. So send the belly forwards first, and then the rib cage, then the chest, then the arms. So just reach into space. Knees can stay bent if the hamstrings are really tight. If your legs are straight, that's fine. Just keep pulling the toes back to the face. Really reach. If it's too much, back off and reach higher. Still loads of stretch, still plenty of tension. If your lower back has tendency to be a little bit niggly, don't pull forwards and strain too much. 3, 2, 1. Slowly lift back up to a seat. Bring the legs together. Tuck the tailbone under and roll down through the spine. So roll the body to the ground, all the way down. Arms overhead. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Bend both knees, plant the feet to the floor. Tuck the tailbone under and then make more of the lower back come in contact with the ground. So more of the lower back is flat to the floor. Take the arms down by the side. Tucking the tailbone under, roll the hips off the floor. So roll the hips up, lifting the hips all the way up to the sky. Your first back bend, we're just staying here, pushing down into the feet, lifting up through the hips, squeezing through the backs of the hips, so squeezing, engaging the glutes. Grip the mat with all 10 toes. Try and lift the hips even higher, and then roll it back down. So really carefully, really slowly, pulling the navel into the spine and letting the hips finally find the floor. Take the arms out nice and wide. And just let the knees rock from the right to the left a couple of times. Do this in between our back bend and see if it helps you, bringing some more space into the hips, then lifting a bit higher when we come up. And just take your time. Rolling through the backs of the hips, knees side to side, trying to keep the arms and the shoulders down. Next time you come back through the center, we'll pause there. Rearrange the feet so they're comfortable, about hip width apart. Take the arms down by the side. Roll the hips up off the floor. So lifting the hips, the lower back, middle back and the upper back, driving the feet down, lifting the hips up. Now, if you want to, you can interlace the hands behind the back. Try and wriggle the shoulder blades a little closer together. You just stay with the arms down by the side, lifting through the hips, pushing down through the feet, opening through the chest and the front of the body. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath. And then release the arms. Roll the spine down. Really carefully, really slowly. Resting the hips to the floor. Place the right ankle on top of the left knee. And take the right hand, just push that right thigh away from you. So I want you to try and push the thigh away. And you're trying to unlock the front of the right hip. So I want to feel a stretch right down into the front of the right thigh, where the thigh meets the hip. And then keep pushing that away. Slowly let the left knee and the right foot as one unit roll over to the left side of the room. The foot will find the ground. And then now reach the right arm out to the side. Take your left hand and now push that right thigh away with your left hand. So it should be quite a funny stretch into the side of the right hip, like it's quite strong, it's quite small. Hopefully you can feel that. You can start to let that right foot lift a little and push that right knee even further away if you want more intensity. And then slowly bring it back. Just hug that right knee into the chest. And then place the right foot to the floor. Other side, left foot sits on top of the right thigh. So our first stretch is just encouraging that left thigh away, feeling some length come there into the inside of the left hip. Hope signal's okay. I can see a couple of people moving. Okay, and then from there, you're going to let the right knee and the left foot come all the way over to the floor. You're going to stay there and push your left thigh away with the right hand. Maybe let your left arm drop out to the side. Just stay there for a little while. I'm just going to check everything's okay. Release that, bring it back through center. And then plant both feet down into the floor. So last back bend, now we should have even more space. Arms down by the side. Roll the hips up to the sky, push them all the way up, lift through the chest. If you want more of a back bend, more of a challenge, you can go all the way up. You're welcome to stay here. If you want to go all the way up, hands come to the side of the head. We're going to push into the hands. And if you have a full wheel, you'll lift the chest all the way up to the wall behind you. So where that wall behind you meets the ceiling, that's where I want you to lift the chest towards. So it's not just back behind you, it's back and up. And if you're there, you're pushing into the feet, you're squeezing the glutes on. If you're halfway up, you're staying with that nice long line from the shoulders to the hips to the knees. And then we'll all roll that down together. Everyone bringing the hips down to the floor wherever you went, it doesn't matter. Bring the knees into the chest. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed so you can hold around the shins, but try not to let the shoulders stress too much. Just give a gentle rock from side to side with the knees. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breath in. Breath out. And then fully stretch out on your yoga mat using all the space around you. So let the feet reach out to the far corners. Either the arms stretch out wide or just rest the hands onto the body. Softening through the backs of the shoulders. Relax through the back of the head. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Using that exhale to let go of tension. So inhale. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, relax the belly. Breathe in. Relax around the hips. And relax all the way down the legs to the feet. Whole body relaxed. Breath is also relaxed. Breath is easy, gentle. Just lying here in a state of calm, in a state of peace. Holding on to that feeling. Reminding yourself that you can recreate that with practice, with your breath. Very powerful tool for when things get so busy. Really slowly, really carefully, just reach the hands down, use the hands to help you bring the knees into the chest. You might choose to roll over to your side and then come up to a seat, or you might just rock all the way up through the length of the spine. Cross the legs, rest the hands down on the knees, and just sit there nice and tall. Shoulders back, so there's space across the collarbones. Spine tall, so there's length through the sides of the waist. Some space into the front of the hips, and a comfier seat than the one you started the practice with. And then reach your arms all the way up to the sky, lifting really nice and tall. Exhale, bring your hands into prayer heart center. Bow the chin into the chest. And thank yourself for making time to practice. Well done. And some hard little bits or some new little bits, so good work.